want to talk about a recent study documenting the first full genome sequencing of the Solenodon. The study involved researchers from two universities in the Dominican Republic on Hispaniola, namely the Instituto Tecnológico de Santo Domingo and the Universidad Autónoma de Santo Domingo, but it was led by researchers at the University of Puerto Rico at Mayagüez. The work was published in the journal Giga Science. Now, you might be wondering, what is a Solenodon? I mean, before this article came out, I had never heard of it, but after doing a bit of research of my own, I learned that they're one of the strangest mammals on the planet. It's a small, furry rodent, closely related to shrews, moles, and hedgehogs. It has a rat-shaped body and a hairless, rat-like tail, but smaller, more delicate ears and smaller eyes. It has disproportionately large claws, and more weirdly, it has milk-producing teats located on its butt cheeks. The Solenodon head is also really strange, because it has these tiny little black beady dots for eyes, which give it terrible vision and a really unnerving kind of creepy look to it. It also has a weirdly long, pointy nose that actually has a weird ball socket joint in it. It's super unusual. The tip of the nose is hairless and pink, with facial hair filling in more along the upper snout and the cheeks. Because of its poor eyesight, it's evolved to use these high-pitched clicking noises to detect its environment. It's a form of sonar that's really similar to what bats do. The Solenodon has a mouth with sharp little fangs, and a few glands that secrete venom. Yeah, these are one of a very small handful of venomous mammals. So if you thought carrying diseases and pestilence wasn't enough, they can bite you and leave behind a neurotoxic venom that can cause breathing difficulty and muscle convulsions. In a large enough dose, it can be fatal, except the amount of venom that's in a typical Solenodon bite is not fatal to a human. You would have to get bit dozens of times by a lot of different Solenodons to get enough venom for a grown human to die. As for what it eats, the Solenodon is an omnivore. It eats anything it can get its little hands on, be it bugs and earthworms, seeds and fruit, small crabs and stuff, plant roots, vegetables, little reptiles, and little frogs, amphibians, anything. In the modern day, the Solenodon are critically endangered, and they can only be found in the wild on the Caribbean islands of Cuba and Hispaniola. And that kind of brings me back to the recently published study. So the researchers at these universities, they took blood samples from 6 Solenodon specimens and used them to sequence the entire genome. They used this data to approximate an idea of how closely the 2 Solenodon species are related to the rest of the mammals. The results were really fascinating, because it appears that the Solenodon species diverged around 73.6 million years ago. Why is this so fascinating? Because it's close to 8 million years before the asteroid impact that wiped out the dinosaurs. These Solenodons are some of the most ancient mammals alive, as they were able to somehow survive both the impact of the asteroid and the devastating ecological changes that followed. So the Solenodon was a really interesting and unique creature already, and this study helps shed some light onto the reasons why. They diverged from the rest of the mammals so long ago that a lot of their weirdness, all these strange traits, these are all the lingering traits, the lingering qualities of the ancient mammal ancestors. These Solenodon are like living relics, although they're largely gone from the world, being confined to just 2 small islands in the eastern Caribbean. The researchers wrote in their paper, and I quote, "It may now be imperative to study conservation genomics of Solenodons, whose extinction would extirpate an entire evolutionary lineage, whose antiquity goes back to the age of the dinosaurs." Unquote.